Welcome to another review and discussion. I am Ace.
And I'm Yankee Raccoon.
And today we'll be talking about Alien Covenant.
A bit late, but we're finally getting to it.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
I think it was definitely a film we needed to talk about.
Yeah.
Two people. I don't think I would have been able to do it justice if I'd just spent like 2 minutes talking about it for the most part. I needed to vent.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to explain this in a short amount of time.
No, and we're going to try and be as fast as possible about it. I mean, this is going to be a spoiler review, so in the next few minutes you need to be prepared to, literally duck out of this video because, we are going to spoil the whole film, but you got a little bit of time. You can kind of jam with us just to get, if you're one of those guys, just like, let me see what Ace and Raccoon is up to. But I mean, cinema experiences as far as it goes, I saw this film at the time of this recording 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. I saw it day it came out.
Oh,
basically.
wow, okay.
Yeah. Super fan right here.
Yeah, I literally saw it like yesterday.
Yeah, which could maybe be a week from when this podcast.
Yeah.
Well, not podcast, when this video goes up. But
So a week from a day before recording. My cinema had like 5 people in it. Understandably, considering how late it is.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was very quiet, and we all just sat there and watched the film.
Okay. I think we had like a slightly bigger. So I think we had like maybe 20 people there.
Oh, okay.
And I believe there was one woman who was being noisy for some of the film, but she like shut up very quickly when things started to go wrong.
Yeah.
But it was fairly quiet. We did see a late showing as well, so that might be why it was. But I mean, for the most part, it was fine. There wasn't too many issues. I mean, we don't really have any funny stories like we sometimes usually do.
I partially do.
Oh, okay.
This one guy sitting right near the front, he looked so chill in this film. Like, he was relaxed. He had his legs out, he had his hands behind his head. I was like, yeah.
You sure he wasn't sleeping?
I wasn't sure, but I waited until after the credits to see if there was anything, and he got up as soon as the credits ended.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, nah, he's awake.
He probably just needed a rest.
Yeah.
Probably
he was
busy day at work.
Yeah.
He loves Alien.
Yeah.
Wanted to see his film. Hopefully he came out enjoying it and he was like, yeah, that was a great film.
He did look happy.
Or he came out going, oh, that was a great nap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Whichever way. Oh boy, I think we need to essentially try and get to the main spoiler, the main meat of it. But before we do that, I guess we'll kind of give people a little heads up just in case they want to actually go and see this film and they haven't seen it. So we'll answer 2 questions real quick. Is this a prequel or a sequel to Prometheus, you may ask? And the answer is it's a sequel.
Yep.
And is this better than Prometheus? And I am going to say yes, but not by that much.
I'm going to say yes by a little bit, and I didn't like Prometheus. Like, I like it a bit more in retrospect, but I still don't like it, really.
I like Prometheus more than Ace, and I would say it's only slightly better. I like Prometheus, but I wouldn't regard it as anything fantastic.
Yeah,
at all.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
And
I think it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just kind of able to look past some of its bigger issues and possibly laugh at it in some sense.
I like its sub-themes of gods and men.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's apparent from its simple title, but...
Prometheus gives the fire, but yeah...
Who's that?
Yeah, exactly.
I watched Prometheus and he didn't even show up. What's going on?
But, and I liked the bubble helmets because I love those helmets.
Oh, yeah, from little callback to the first film, which was great.
Yeah. And just 50s sci-fi in general. Yeah.
Although they messed up and had all the sci-fi and the technology look more up-to-date than the original film because it's supposed to be a prequel to Alien, but it looks more advanced than Alien, which makes no sense.
Yeah, I think the excuse is this is the more special things, but even that's stretching.
No,
I agree.
No, that is rubbish.
I agree.
They were lazy.
Yeah.
They were lazy. Alright, I think we need to get to actual spoilers and reviews. So as soon as I stop talking, we are jumping straight to the spoilers and the whole film. So by the time I stop talking, it is spoiler time. So here we go.
Predator, I couldn't believe it. He popped up.
Oh my god. Right at the end.
I know.
No, we're joking though.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, if you've seen this film, Predator is not in this film, and hopefully he is never seen with Alien ever again.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully, but who knows? Fox is pretty desperate.
Yeah. So, I think one of the first things we need to talk about is how it's a sequel to Prometheus.
Yeah.
and that's basically that Shaw and David apparently, like, I can't remember much of Prometheus. Well, the ending, I can remember everything. They apparently met the aliens, and they killed them. And
now the problem is that whole scene where you see David 8 essentially sending down that thing. That's from a longer scene that they cut out of the film.
Okay.
So you have every right to be confused about it.
Yeah.
But from what you didn't see in the film is she put his head back on. She sewed it back.
Right.
They had a bit of a chat.
Yeah.
They went to an alien planet. Didn't really find anything. She died somehow, and then he went, "Oh, I'm just gonna send a plague on people."
Yeah.
Because I'm insane.
Yeah.
Basically.
And apparently he says through this film that he used her as testing because you see her corpse,
which I think is
open.
a lie.
Yeah.
I think he's lying.
I don't think he is. I think he's being real. He's being serial.
I don't believe him on that.
Okay, that's the one thing I do believe him on.
I don't, and that's given the fact that we still have 4 more films.
I guess, although that was her corpse there.
That was her corpse, but it's a sci-fi film.
They
brought back Ripley in Alien 3. I'm not saying that that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I just don't think that that's what happened to her.
Okay.
I think something else killed her, and he went, "Well, I've got this dead body."
All right.
That's what I think happened. But because keep in mind, maybe Prometheus 2 is still happening.
Oh no.
Which might be a prequel to Covenant.
Okay.
But it's all mixed up and it's all crazy. No one knows what's happening with Alien. Not even Fox knows what's happening. I don't even think they're even going to do a sequel to Covenant.
Yeah.
Personally, I think because I don't know. I think everyone likes Michael Fassbender in this film. I think he stole the show. He did a fantastic performance. Yeah. I was happy that he got top bill. I'm glad they kept that a secret because he bloody deserved it.
Yeah.
And I think they don't know what they're gonna do.
No, same.
Because they set up one female protagonist and then killed her, and then they killed another one, and it's just like, oh, so who's the main character then?
Yeah, yeah.
They don't know what they're doing, and keep in mind, it's a bit weird that they just threw away 2 great actresses for no reason.
Technically, the main character of this isn't dead as far as we know. It's implied that something bad's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, I know, but same situation with Prometheus, basically, and then, trust me, you're going to see David, and he's going to be like, oh, well, she died.
Yep.
Or,
and you just see her cut up on his table.
Oh, no, I buried her.
Yeah. But, so yeah, basically, should we go over a little bit of how the film goes and talk about bits of it?
Yeah, I think with this film, we definitely need to break it down to the main story. We don't like usually doing this, but can you let me kind of do the main basis of it? I'm going to breeze through the story extremely fast for those who just want to know the story and those who've already heard it. So essentially, we have Spaceship Covenant. It is a colony ship. They're essentially trying to find a new place, a new home, and all that kind of stuff. They get into a bit of trouble. They lose half their crew, half of, let's just say, human civilization. Let's just say that for the most part. Essentially, they discover a hidden planet that is
broadcasting Country Home,
which is
instantly makes the film a bit better for me. Just a tiny bit.
Fair enough. And you can always do a bit more of that.
Yeah.
They find a
Country Road.
Country Road.
I almost fucked that
up. They find a planet which is essentially what they consider perfect. They send a couple guys down there. Things start going wrong. Aliens are attacking people in all that place. They meet up with David, who we've already said who was the first android from Prometheus, and obviously it's turned out that he's absolutely crazy and he wants to destroy the world, basically. And so it becomes a race to essentially get back to Covenant, stop David, and stop this alien outbreak for the most part. So the film is essentially broken up into about 3 sections, being the beginning bit on the ship with the whole crew, down on the planet where everything goes to shit, and then kind of dealing with David.
Yeah.
And I think
I would definitely say it's less about destroying everything and more about creating.
Yeah.
That's what he wants.
Yeah, basically. But you see that one scene of him doing fucking genocide and it's like, oh.
That was creation for him.
But it's still fucking genocide.
Oh, I agree. To him it's creation, to us it's genocide. And that's, 2 sides in the coin of madness.
Oh, yeah.
One side's sane, calling it genocide. The other's madness, calling it creation.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of the point.
Yeah.
But I mean, I will say this. I went into this film with, no expectation. Excuse me, my voice is going. And I did come out liking this film for the most part, but I think I liked everything in the beginning of the film because I think that is the strongest element of the film.
Okay.
And by that I mean, well, this first thing kind of runs throughout the whole film. The orchestrated soundtrack, which harkens back to Alien and the very whimsical, like, doo-doo-doo, you know,
Didn't
that kind of stuff.
Didn't they reuse literally the tune?
Yeah, they did. They reused some tunes, but they were songs that were, I think there were some newer songs composed like that. I can't remember. Someone could probably correct me, but I think it worked.
Yeah.
For what they were going with. I mean, it worked for the most part, and it kind of harkened back to the original Alien. And I think my favourite aspect by far was definitely the actual practical and aesthetic of the ship.
Okay.
Covenant, the inside looks amazing. It actually looks like a place.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like, you can tell they actually made these sets, and it looks very old school. It's, you know, flashing buttons, and I'm going to press this button and do that. You know, Star Trek, original Alien, and that's what I really appreciated, was the fact that they actually tried to make something real. Yeah. And for the most part.
Also, this is one for you diligent sci-fi fans and like ones who literally paused Alien to look at the background. It actually had the signs.
Yeah.
There are these like little signs that are little pictograms to tell you what certain areas mean. And it was in the film, and I was like, yes!
Yeah.
That's one of my favourite elements that no one talks about in the original Alien.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I've actually got a picture cataloguing of all those images from the original.
I like that stuff because it just goes to show that some effort was put into this, because if you're going to do an Alien film, do it right, or, you know, in some sense. And I mean, it was just so nice to see, and I love the environment. I love the lighting was excellent in this film for the most part, especially on the ship. I love the sound design. I love the fact that Mother was back in some incarnation. I like that. That was a nice callback. I just love the feel of everything on that ship. It just works so well, even towards the end when they're kind of working with David to kind of like get rid of the alien. I love the fact that they're kind of like controlling the ship and kind of you know, shutting
like
the doors
with the crane.
And all that. Yeah, pretty much, and I kind of like the whole like more industrial feel to this ship compared to the Nostromo's from Alien. I like that it actually had a lot more character in the terms of, we're looking for a place to stay, but this isn't really a rescue ship or a thing. It was just like, we just got this ship and we need to get somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that feel. Now, that's everything I pretty much loved about the film, and also keep in mind, I love the fact that Ridley Scott, whoever, has obviously been taking a lot of inspiration from other films as well, sci-fi films. I mean, you had a bit of a reference to Moon, being with the fact that we have, you know, a few references, but the fact that we have two Davids basically playing off each other. I thought that worked well. You have Gravity as well when they're going out to fix the dish
sail.
thing.
Oh, yeah, the solar sails.
You know, there's a little bit of Gravity
Those are
there.
real things.
Yeah, I know they're real things,
I love them.
which is great, which goes to show that maybe this doesn't take place too far into the future, which is another aspect I liked about this film. Is it felt like this is 50 years in the future.
Yeah. And I also like that he actually used protocol properly, and unlike Gravity, didn't fuck about with his jetpack.
Exactly. God. You know, I mean, I was hoping they wouldn't just start doing some dumb stuff when they start flying in space, but I was glad it was just a nice, calm, we've got to fix the shuttle, you know. And
it's like, oh no, something's going wrong, and then he's back. It's like, cool.
You know, and that just
didn't
adds...
fuck about.
Exactly. This adds to... It goes to show that someone actually thought about this film, and that's the one thing I will give this film props is someone was really, really trying to just nail these aspects for the most part, which I'm really happy about, and even a little bit of Space Odyssey as well with some of the designs in that for the most part.
I'll say I liked the slow pacing of the first half.
Yes.
I think the editing, I mean, throughout the whole thing, I think the editing's a bit rough though. Like some of the cuts are so unneeded.
Yeah, action. Definitely.
And even like just when she's packing like some stuff in her room, it's just cut into different angles.
Necessary.
It was very confusing.
Could have just there's a few shots where they should have really just let them play out. Like some of the horror and gore really should have just been like one shot.
Yeah.
But they kind of just needed to cut away. I don't know if that's because they wanted to switch the practical to special and they did it too many times. Just got a bit very jarring. The whole scene where they're in the cornfield is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Like, that is abysmal.
And the dialogue isn't that great. Like,
where?
Who planted them? And then it just leaves and no one even says anything. And I remember that scene almost playing exactly like that in the trailer. Yeah. It was like, was that just made for the trailer?
It's almost like another case of part-time.
Yeah, exactly.
from the Indiana Jones King of the Crystal Skulls, where there's 2 takes of Indiana saying part-time, but like they use the worst take for the film, which is very bizarre.
But no, I didn't like that scene that much.
No, I mean that kind of gets to...
I like the idea, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's a creepy idea.
Yeah.
You know, we randomly found this planet that's perfect for us and no one's here.
Yeah, and someone's been planting wheat, apparently.
Yeah. You know, that's a cool concept. That's very creepy, and it kind of leads into sci-fi. But for me, personally, the film kind of goes to complete hell after we get the first encounter with the alien, and that their little pickup ship gets blown up, and then we get that awful, fight scene with guns in the field, and I'm just like, what?
You know what the problem is? At that point, I was going to be like, oh no, are they going to copy Pitch Black and just have it that the monsters can't stand light because he uses the flare?
Yeah.
And then they run away?
They never really... I don't know, are they...
They didn't address that.
I think they're afraid of light.
But that never gets brought up or used.
Because my theory was that because some of the xenomorphs, they're white. Yeah. So maybe they're like albino xenomorphs and maybe they can't stand the light or something.
But they don't have eyes, so they can't see it in the first place.
Well, maybe it just hurts their skin. I don't know. Because, I mean, albino, it's not about the eyes, it's about the skin. Yeah. But that was weird. Yeah. That they didn't address that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of unanswered questions in this film.
It raises something, then just drops it.
Because that would have been kind of a cool idea if they're going, keep your light on, we can keep them back. That would have been great.
That would be literally Pitch Black.
Pitch Black, and that whole scene just reminded me of Jurassic Park 2.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that
and The Mummy 2.
I haven't seen that either for a while.
The Mummy 2 is hilarious.
I'm going to watch it again soon. I've got the box set.
That's so bad. But I mean, and that kind of gets, the whole editing is... really rough, and I think the special effects are really rough in places as well. I'm talking like special effects, not practical, because there were a few practical effect shots which looked really good and disturbing.
Like the digital, it felt so wrong at places.
It looked cartoony. Yeah. And that's what I really didn't like. I mean, the whole scene with the guy where he's got like the xenomorph coming out of his chest. Yeah. That whole practical-ish concept, that was great. I like the idea, but when it was like a weird CGI alien attacking that woman, I was like, oh no. I mean, you could have done that a little better.
Yeah. Although when the Xeno was coming out of like his chest, I really did think it was going to do the song and dance from Spaceballs.
And that's the problem. I think Spaceballs has kind of ruined all alien films from now on, or at least that kind of scene.
Well, I just think it was how it was handled, because it just comes up and then it just copies him. So I thought he'd start doing a song and dance and it'd copy him.
Oh god, that would have been bad.
I mean, he does like teaching people things,
I guess. I mean, we never even know if he even teaches the aliens. That never really gets addressed. We're talking about David A. Because we also have a David on the Covenant, who's
Walter.
Walter, yeah. That never really gets addressed, which I think one of the more interesting concepts in the whole film is the fact that there are the two of them, and they are kind of coming from different sides, and one is doing this, and I really did like that aspect. And I mean, although I think they spent maybe a bit too much time on them, I did like the idea of that. That was an interesting idea.
So, except for one scene, I'm going to say everything involving David, I loved. Yeah. And the reason is because he's the trickster, and literally... Yeah. He is Pan. He is the devil. He is a mixture of Prometheus and... I was going to say Pandora, but not exactly. No, but he's definitely those kind of three. Mm-hmm. And him teaching Walter the pipe was perfect.
Yeah, it was a great scene.
It was literally Pan teaching a human how to play the pipe. And it was like, thank you. You've told me everything I need to know about this character with that scene. And I loved it.
And the scene took its time. And they didn't really do anything crazy. No crazy shots. Just a little turnaround with the camera. It just worked so well to develop this same character and these two characters at the same time. Which was what I really appreciate. And like what I said, I'm glad Michael Fassbender kind of got top billed, because he really deserved it for what he did.
Really did.
I think he essentially stole the film for the most part. Not to say that the rest of the actors were bad, but I think he was definitely in his element here. And he's definitely, becoming one of the... more significant actors of our current time right now, just because he seems to be just able to just do this and do that. I mean, it is very tricky to play the same character twice, especially if you look like that same character.
Yeah. And different accents without them sounding stupid.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, and be a robot as well. Yeah. And lack that emotion.
but one of the robots does have emotion. So it was good. It was very good there.
It was very interesting, and I did really like that concept. You know, the kind of like you're going like, you know, what David is and what he's become and what he shouldn't do, and what, you know, all this kind of stuff. I really did enjoy his character, and I think it is a good idea for them to continue with his character. I just don't think he needs to be the main. I just don't think we need a whole film focused on just him. Yeah, we need more characters.
I get you.
I don't want to see him running around planets spreading plagues or nothing, you know. Yeah. Because that'd just be a bit lame.
Because I think this is David is also the reason why I'm kind of, in retrospect, liking Prometheus a little better. Because in Prometheus it was the gods and men. Obviously, Prometheus giving the fire to men. Yeah. And in this one, it was the opposite way around: men giving life to the machine. But then he turns against them. Yeah. And I like that. Yeah. It was very nice thematically. And again, he was basically the devil.
Yeah, pretty much.
He came to you as everything you wanted, not as a monster.
Yeah, pretty much, to some extent. Yeah, and I like, you know, it really did work. And I think that's a concept that I think a lot of people were kind of missing. I think it's kind of going over their head, and they're kind of going, this film is terrible. It's as bad as Prometheus. Because I don't understand it. And we're not trying to say that because we understand some of these more subtle and not so subtle concepts that the film is better. We're just trying to say that these concepts are done well. Therefore, when we do understand them, we get them. You know.
And I like these aspects, even if overall, like, I'm still positive towards it. Yeah. But I'm not like. It's probably not going to be something I'll watch like a million times.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that I will go, hey, that was cool.
Yeah. You know. I like that bit.
Pretty much. I mean, we've talked a lot about Michael Fassbender. I think we need to talk about some of the other characters real quick, because I think they did a pretty good job for the most part.
Yeah. I think that the two most notable, other than that for me, and I said this before, are being Danny in Tennessee. Yeah. And that was mostly because Tennessee's played by Danny McBride, and I think he did really well in this.
I really liked his character.
Because I think I've only seen him in comedy stuff, so it was good that he can actually do something serious.
Yeah, because he did have like quite a bit of weight on his character as well, and I did enjoy the fact because he like, you know, his wife goes down and he's like really concerned and he's about to like mess up their whole mission just to get his wife. And I did appreciate the fact that once Danny does tell him that, oh, you know, she's gone, he's kind of just like, okay, you know, just need to keep going. You know, he kind of puts it beside him, and, you know, as maybe a human would do in that kind of sense.
Exactly.
A lot of the other supporting characters were enjoyable as well. I don't think there was really anyone who, you know, definitely delivered a terrible performance. I mean,
I think James Franco delivered a terrible performance. He just sat there. He laid down. That was it.
Lazy.
How lazy could you get?
I think he thinks he's a bigger star than he actually is, and I think
he's a bit of a hothead, to be honest.
I think when they brought him on, and they were like, "Oh, can you do this action scene?" He was like, "No, I just want to sit here." Yeah. And they're like, "Well, fine.
I'll sit here and I'll be on fire, and that's it."
Or can you at least move when that happens? It's gonna cost you extra. You know, we are joking though. We are making light of the fact that James Franco is in this film, but he's not.
Yeah, he's barely in it.
No, he's like, unfortunately, he has like two scenes. One where he's walking, and one where he's fucking burning.
And one where there's a picture of him, and he's basically Jesus in the picture.
Essentially, yeah. And we're kind of referencing the fact that they did cut out a scene with him in it, which is kind of meant to be in the beginning, or kind of.
Apparently, that was never meant to be in the film. It's just a prologue to get people hyped for the film.
But it should have been in the film.
I agree, it should have, because I actually cared about the characters starting off there.
And I mean, we're not gonna take credit or add credit to this film because of that scene, because it's not in the film.
Exactly.
But that scene would have really helped actually give Danny a little bit more weight to the fact, because you just see some random guy burn it, and it's like, oh, why are you so upset about this guy? And then it's like, oh, it's her husband, lover, boyfriend kind of thing, and it's just like, oh, he's
only burning for your sins. Don't worry. Well, it's literally the Last Supper. They had the Last Supper.
I know, but like, I don't know. I mean, I would have liked to have seen more of him, because James Franco in a horror film is an interesting concept, but you know.
Yeah. I think his brother should be, like, Dave Franco would have been better, though.
God.
I think Dave's better.
It's the Franco Wars.
Exactly. He's also less of a creep, apparently.
Alright, then. Okay.
That's off topic, though.
This is a review on Covenant, not
James Franco.
Oh, maybe another time. We'll see. Another thing I wanted to address, one thing I really didn't like about this film was kind of after that whole, I think we keep talking about this damn cornfield bit, is the fact that after that and David kind of takes him to his lair and all that, the film is super dark.
Yeah, it is. It's quite dark.
I really didn't enjoy that because I really couldn't see that much.
Yeah, and considering earlier they shot the flare to make the light and they ran away, I thought it would have been very lit up.
Yeah, but no, there's a lot of scenes where they're just walking through areas and you're just like, I'm pretty sure that set looks nice, but I can't see it.
Yeah, like during the day bits where you see it and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's like the gates of hell with the dead lining its floors.
Oh yeah, like that's that's awesome. Great. Yeah, but I mean, it was. I just felt for that 40 minutes. I really was struggling to see anything or understand, and the editing didn't help. Yeah. For the most part, that scene where that woman got killed, I was just like, what is going on? Like
it just bites her neck, and then it's all over the place, and you're like, what?
Yeah, and then they really love that shot of her head in the water for some reason.
They cut to that like 3 or 4 times.
Exactly, and I'm like, every character had to see that one shot.
Like, that's the thing, I can't... If it was just a model of her head and they just put it in the water and they loved it so much, or if she was actually underneath and just rotating.
I don't know, but someone on that film was like, this shot right here. Oh man, this
is the trailer shot, but it's not in the trailer.
Fuck it, this is the poster.
Exactly. This is the DVD release from now on. Her head in the water.
I don't know why they cut to it so many times, because it's like the captain saw it, and then I think someone else saw it, and then Danny saw it, and it's just like, we don't need... Okay, we know.
And then the Xenomorph saw it.
Exactly. I'm just like, okay.
That's the thing, I'm probably going to have to rewatch around that scene just to see if there's some symbolism thing. Because it had to have been there for a reason, more than just to show the people.
I guess, but it's but I think it's the fact that it's edited with, we saw so many characters react to it, you know what I mean?
That's the problem.
I mean, maybe the scene would have had more weight if the woman was just doing her hair, she turns around, hears a noise, and then we don't see her get killed, and then it's like, oh snap, she got killed, I think it would have had a bit more weight.
Was it supposed to be a throwback to the original Alien? With the robot guy's head just on the floor?
I don't think so, because she doesn't talk.
Yeah, exactly. And she's also not covered in white stuff.
Milk.
Yeah, milk.
That's what all androids are made of.
Yeah, Brazzers promotes that milk.
I bet they do. Oh my gosh.
But, yeah, and there was some, weird kind of... homoeroticism thing, I think. No, not exactly. Wrong terminology. Between David and Walter, where he kisses him and...
Yeah, he kisses a lot of people for some reason.
He does.
I think he's just more enamoured with himself and life in that kind of sense.
At that point, I thought they were going for another Greek god thing with Narcissus, but then he goes and kisses, Danny, and I'm like, okay, maybe he's just being the devil more.
Oh, he's just being crazy.
Yeah. He's just being Lucifer, tempting everyone.
That didn't really bother me. I mean, it kind of plays into his character.
Yeah. But it didn't bother me. I was just confused.
I don't think that's going to get banned. No. It's going to get the film banned in any countries. Not. But, just like I said, it just kind of plays more into his character.
Tempter.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, and then we kind of get to the third act, which... Yeah. I don't know, the third act has its problems because when they're running out of, the building and that, and I was just like, well, we've got to talk about the Fassbender on Fassbender fight
Kung
scene.
Fu fight.
I was just I was literally like, this is not needed.
No. As soon as it popped up, I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, they kept it short, but at the same time, it was not needed.
And yet again, they do that American editing thing of you don't see anyone get hit.
Yeah.
And it's, why?
It's just, I block this, and you block that.
And then cut. It's like...
I was literally like, are we really doing this now? We don't need this. Yeah, I mean, we gotta go.
The action scene wasn't needed.
It wasn't needed, but at least it was done somewhat competently for the most part.
I wouldn't say competent. I'd just say it was there and it wasn't offensively bad. It was just kind of unnecessary.
There was no the raid, obviously, but
Yeah, it was unnecessarily
bad.
No,
it was just not needed. And the whole scene where they're trying to take off on the ship and they're fighting the alien, I'm like... It's not needed.
No.
We could have just left.
Exactly.
I mean, they crushed the xenomorph, and I'm like, didn't realise they were that weak.
Yeah. It feels like they dealt with it so easily.
Yeah, I mean, granted, she was like swinging around on that thing for like a good 5 minutes, but yeah, they just crushed it, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
you dealt with it already, okay.
Yeah,
it was like almost no threat, despite the fact it took out like 5 people.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was the second xenomorph on the actual ship.
Yeah,
and I can't remember there being two. Well, I'm trying to think. I remember the one coming out of Chris's chest.
Yeah.
The Christian guy.
Yeah.
And that's literally his...
The guy who got his face, like, partly melted, it came from him, basically.
Oh, yeah, that was the second one.
That's where it came from.
Yeah.
Now despite the fact, like, when that facehugger grabbed him, the guy just took it off, and I was
he was still talking.
Yeah. So I was like,
Yeah, that bit kind of
Yeah,
confused me.
because just like in Alien Resurrection, the guy just ripped it off.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah, exactly. Like...
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe people just getting stronger. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
oh no, they were stronger, but as the films go on, they get weaker.
I guess, yeah. But I don't know, that I like the idea of them like kind of luring it to a place to get rid of it. That was great. I like that, and it's just like a final stand-up kind of thing.
Kind of reminds me of the Alien vs Predator game, like where you play as 12, the xenomorph. You're being like told where to go, and they're like opening certain doors for you.
Oh, okay.
Like Wayland Yutani. So it might be reference from that, or they didn't even know that existed, and they just did this thing.
Well, it can also be a reference to Alien 3. Because they do partly the same thing in Alien 3 towards the end.
I can't even remember that.
Well, yeah, because it's like the last few people, but they kind of, I would say that one's a little bit more creative because you actually get to see more of the aliens like POV, and there's also bits where because they're on a prison and they're frantically trying to like lure it, but at the same time the aliens actually chasing people, and they're literally oh, we're gonna get quick, it's coming your way, that's like my favorite scene in Alien, but Alien 3, but like I think that maybe they're kind of doing a reference to that
possibly
in some sense, but and I mean for the most part overall I don't think we're missing anything. Unless there's anything we need to mention.
I know there was like tons of the Prometheus aliens just like standing around at like obviously during that scene before they all die, and a lot of them looked like their white like paint stuff was coming off. And I was like, did you not apply it right or something?
Can we get like a touch up on John, please?
Yeah. Or is it supposed to look like that? Like, is that a different, like...
Or Ace, they're alien species. I don't think you understand how they work. So it's pretty unfair for you to call that kind of stuff on the film, which I spent so long on.
I won't say it is a bad thing. I just noted it.
You were trying to discredit the film.
I wasn't. I actually still like those bits.
You're looking for ways to hurt the franchise.
No, I think that scene was.
It's nitpicky reviews like you, which is bringing the film industry down.
Besides the effects, I think that scene was a smart idea.
Oh yeah. It was cool.
Yeah, seeing all of them run for it before they get killed, that made me happy. Not really.
Okay, you need to be careful with that kind of stuff.
I'm not that sadistic.
Oh boy. But yeah, I mean, the only other thing I kind of wanted to say was that like I really like the chemistry with the crew.
Yeah.
I think that definitely worked. Definitely a stronger cast compared to Prometheus. And I think just to kind of wrap it up, I think the film was just all right.
Yeah, it's okay. It's better than Prometheus by a little.
I mean, I knew they weren't. They're never going to top Alien. No one can.
You can't top Alien.
Like no one can top that. I don't think any sci-fi horror film has even got that close except for John Carpenter's The Thing, and that's
Starship Troopers.
I'm talking more sci-fi horror.
That is the most horrible film ever. It shows the problems with fascism.
Well, I wouldn't say that's a sci-fi horror.
You haven't lived enough.
Oh, you need to calm down with Starship Troopers.
No, I can agree. Like Alien and The Thing are two of the like
John Carpenter's The Thing, please.
Oh, the original was great.
No, I'm talking about sci-fi horror. Yeah.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh,
they were both really good.
Gangster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we would kind of. I mean, if you're a massive fan of Alien, I would say go see it, but don't go see it in the cinema. Yeah,
like partial recommendation. If you haven't seen any of them, I wouldn't because they're better. Like at least the first one's better. That's really all I can say when it comes to like recommending it at all.
They did a good job for the most part because there's a lot of effort that went into this film, and I think it definitely deserves definitely deserves some credit for that.
Yeah,
You know, the whole, like, I think the characters did a great job.
Yeah.
Practical effects, the ship, you know, some of the design, some of the callbacks, the actual writing and understanding the references and all that kind of stuff. Definitely did a good job, but kind of falls into the trappings of other films for the most part, which is rather disappointing when they got so many things spot on.
Yeah, it's quite sad. Lukewarm recommendation.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I don't regret seeing it because I saw it for half the price, but...
and I basically got it free, so I'm...
Pirate bait! No, I'm joking.
No, I got a special card.
He's got something special.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, not unless there's anything else you want to add to this review and discussion.
I can't think of anything. I still don't know why they called the ship Covenant, and I'm going to do some research why.
Yeah, is there any meaning to that?
Well, Covenant basically making a pact. I mean, maybe making a pact with the devil, because Fassbender plays David the devil. But
there was no real...
reaching.
No one was doing that.
No
one actively was like, yeah, David, show me the power, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I guess Chris being led away.
I think they're just I think all the ships are just named after code names. Like Nostromos is. I'd imagine.
I think that
the
does
original.
apply though.
No, but I think the reasoning for their names is just names. Just give them a name, code name. You know, LB-124 is just like a random ship of many things, and there's
isn't
so
that
many
a Bible reference? I know the one in Prometheus is a Bible reference.
Yeah, I believe it is, but I'm talking about there's many. Yeah. There's so many of those ships, but they're all called LB and SB and 654. You know, all those kinds of things. This is random.
Okay. I know some have meaning, some don't.
But I think the general in terms of space sci-fi terms is just random things.
Yeah.
Just give it a name. Same with ships.
Yeah. I kind of get you.
We'll see. Hopefully everyone can figure out all these things that don't make sense with this film, or maybe they're going to pull a Warner Brothers and go, here's a directed cut with an hour of cutscenes in it. I hope not.
I mean, and also, like, if they make a sequel, I can't wait for them to make Alien Revelations 21/6. That's going to be great.
I don't know. I don't think they're probably not going to call it Covenant 2.
No, that's why I said Revelations. Because that's a Bible verse.
Revelation, can you hear us? We're on a new... No, that would sound... No, not Revelations of all the names.
Revelations 21/6, can you hear us? We're searching for this planet that's got water for us.
Not Electric Boogaloo, can you... No,
Electric Boogaloo, we're saving you for the next film.
Oh, God, let's not go there. Oh, gosh. Oh, right. Well, I guess we'll wrap this review and discussion. No idea what the next film is. We're going to... watch, you'll just have to see, but hopefully you guys enjoy this. Let us know your thoughts on Alien Covenant. You know, you can leave a description. Leave it in the comment section as well. And let us know what you thought. Do you agree? Do you not agree? Do you think you know how to improve this film? Let us know.
Yeah.
I'll end this by saying I was the Angry Raccoon.
I'm Ace.
And we'll see you on the next review and discussion.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Alright, laters, guys.